Hello, hello, and welcome to the Fabulous Show. Let's Talk Fabulous Show with yours truly, co host Barbara J. Beckley. Today, we are going to be, and I'm so excited that we're going to be talking about goals and vision. Goals and vision. So let's talk. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yes, yes, yes. And we are back. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Okay, the people that are here. How are we doing today? We basically are going to be talking about goals and vision for success. Now, I want to do just a little takeaway that I want to say that just because it sounds like quote unquote a business type of thing, this is for anything that you do. It could be business, it could be a passion project you're trying to do, just anything that's in your heart. So I really, when you're thinking about this, and we have our wonderful panelists where you're going to meet in a minute, but I just want to put that out there that everything you think about, I always tell people you need a strategy for everything, and this doesn't have to be in business type, right? So I just want you to remember that when you're putting your comments in, and just don't think, oh, this is another business type of goal thing. This is the smart thing and all that, which that's all works well. But let's hear our hearts here and about what you're trying to do as a passion project as well. So with that said, we are going to introduce our wonderful panel today. And we have, well, really four amazing queens. Usually when I have the kings on, I can say queens. And I call women all queens because to me, they're royalty. And right now, two of the four are here. So we're going to start our introductions real quick. We'll go with Mrs. Queen Karen first.
Hello there.
Hello, lady. Please introduce yourself and where you're coming from.
I am calling in from Sarasota, Florida. I'm a transformational empowerment coach, and I've been doing it since 2007, and I absolutely adore it. So I play in the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual realms.
Ooh. I love it, Queen. Thank you for coming and saying yes today.
Thank you
And
for
then we have Queen. I want to say the name because I wanted to introduce her. Miss Sacha.
Hi, everybody. I am Sacha Walton, actually Sacha Walton Gutierrez, and I am a business strategist and the CEO of SWI Management Group, where we help women entrepreneurs take strategic action in business development, marketing, and branding that builds visibility and helps to build that profitability and sustainability for their business. And that's what I do. I love it. I'm from Virginia, and yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Queen. And I was trying to put me back in. Another Queen, Miss Queen Ari. Please introduce yourself and let us know where you're coming in from.
So I'm coming in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I am originally from Virginia. So hi, Sasha. I was listening to you talking about you're from Virginia. That's home for me, but I live in Milwaukee. And I consider me like your freedom coach. I'm about all things with women and their identity and knowing who they are so they can walk in who they're called to be.
Awesome. Amazing. So I'm loving this group. I'm loving the topic today. So, we want to set the tone. Like I said, we're talking about goals and getting to your vision. Okay. So this is going to kind of tell it all. We'll be right back.
I see the road, it's bending wide. Chasing dreams I can't let slide. A spark ignites, I feel alive. Plans in my pocket, fire in my chest. Every step forward, no time to rest. Goals, vision, action, that's my way. Building tomorrow from today. Goals, vision, action, it's my drive. Living the dream while I'm alive. Clouds may gather, storms may rise, but I keep climbing, chasing skies. The finish line's where truth resides. Hope in my fingers, grit in my hands, turning my whispers into demands. Goals, vision, action, that's my way. Building tomorrow from today. Goals, vision, action, it's my drive. Living the dream while I'm alive.
I am sitting here doing selfies of our show. I'm going to be so transparent right now. I was like, look at us rocking. Look at the video. Look at the goals and video. Okay, I'll stop. I get giddy. I know. You got to help me. So with that said, I want to give you, basically, we introduced our panel, where they're from, and we told you what basically we're going to talk about today. Now, the thing is, I want to make sure we're showing love to the people that are chiming into the show. We got Caroline Brown, Happy Sunday Beautiful, Tamara L. Hunter, who's our production, our leader, the Queen Bee, I always call her. We have Miss Gloria, one of the other co-hosts for Let's Talk Fabulous Show. And Stephen Smith, we got, Steampunk Poe is in the house. Yes, we got royalty. So I want to make sure we're showing love to everybody that's coming in. Tamara says she's loving it. That's good. That means I'm hopefully I'm doing my job right. And I want to make sure that we're just showing love and a lot of laughter. So it just doesn't have to just be about this topic, but we want to make sure, again, we're touching the heart. So with that said, we want to start off because each one of our panelists is going to share a little bit about goals setting, of course, and then also making it towards your vision and putting some. And I love what Miss Queen Tamara did in the video. She said action. And I've been saying that all year about, okay, it's nice to write down something. It's nice to talk about it, but where's the action now? It's time to move forward with it, right? And each and every one of our wonderful queens on this panel, and I know you that's listening in too, have been putting a lot of things into action lately. I've been watching people, yes, in a good way. So with that, I want to go and I'm going to start off with Miss Karen. And she's going to just give us a little tip of her video. And then we're going to talk to her more about what she looks at when it's talking about goals and vision and some action. She's been doing a lot of action too. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Karen Rudolf, and I'm excited to join the Let's Talk Fabulous show, where we're diving into goal setting for success, turning vision into action. And here's something I've learned on my own journey. A vision without action is a wish. And when you take even the tiniest step, when you move, the universe responds. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to begin. So my golden nugget for you, clarity plus action equals momentum. And momentum turns your dreams into your reality. So ask yourself, what's one inspired action you can take today? The future you will thank you for it. I can't wait to see you there. Let's make those dreams come alive together.
Yes. Thank you so much. So Miss Karen, I'm going to put you in the middle.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, I know, because you're awesome.
We are awesome, darling. It takes one to spot one. Thank you. Oh,
So what
yes.
do you want to add with that?
So for me, and what works for me, and what's been working for my clients as well, is starting with an intention. Like, why do you want to be doing this? Like, really get present to your why, and what's the intention behind the why that's going to propel you moving forward with that momentum that we're looking for. And once we get present to that, what are you doing to maintain it? Because everything is energy. So when you raise your frequency and your vibration, you're more likely to maintain first and foremost, and not just maintain, but get to your goal point. So I am a big advocate of writing it down. Numbers don't lie. What are you going to do that's going to really support you? Getting accountability, I find, is key for myself. And to this day, I still have accountability. I still have coaches, and if I really truly want something, it'll keep me on track and keep me moving forward with the aligned action. So for me, it's all about keeping it sassy, classy, and badassy. And the classy is really about getting present to your why, and getting into a space of self-confidence to start working towards that. The classy is really stepping into that intuitiveness and really trusting you that you have the power to get anything you want. And the badassiness is taking those aligned action steps. It's not just going to fall from the sky. You do have to take action, but keep it fun, keep it simple, and keep it short and sweet. This way, if you break it down into measurable goals, measurable action steps, you're more likely to follow through and get to where you want to be.
Ooh, powerful, powerful, powerful. I love it. I love it, Queen.
Yeah.
And it's always, like I said before, taking it into writing it down, thinking about it, and then also making sure that you take action to it, of course, with that. So I want to ask anybody else that wants to chime in with what Karen was saying, Sacha or Ari. Everybody's on. Yeah, everybody on mute.
Okay.
No.
I would say to add in on the action part is really setting like a date. Because a lot of times, and Barbara, you touched on it before, we can set the goals, we can write it down, and we can take action. But a lot of times the accountability part for ourselves comes with actually setting a date, putting a deadline on that, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's 3 days, whether it's 5 months, whatever it is that is for you in that goal, set that deadline on it. And then what you've written down, check it off. Make that into your checklist, and then check it off and make sure that you are hitting those points by the time your deadline comes. But also give yourself grace if you shy of a few by that time, and just keep going. But they'll put you into great practice and really, staying on track with your goals and making sure you're attaining them.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. I wanted to also say, and thank you so much, Queen, for saying that real quickly, is I like when we have goals and we have the vision, because the vision keeps us with whatever goals we need to make for that vision. So when you start falling short and it's like going a different route, you have to ask yourself the question, is this particular goal going with the vision that I'm working at? Or is this totally opposite or whatever, and I'm just kind of just going down that rabbit hole? So you have to ask yourself those questions. And that's why I love when you go about vision. So that's the part that I really love. So Ari, anything to add to that?
I would say that with the action piece, and this was just to kind of like solidify, like I'm just coming right behind Sacha, that measurableness. Normally in the corporate world, you hear about SMART goals all the time, like making them measurable, making them realistic, all the things. And so that part is also plays into what Sacha, which was really amazing, about making sure that you give yourself grace. while you're doing that. And when you make your goals measurable and realistic, not that you're not going to dream, but put them in a write them down in a way, and in a go about them in a way that makes sense for the life that you're living right then too. Because sometimes we have all these, like, you know, as a kid, you have these humongous goals, and it's like, yeah, and you can do them all, most likely. I don't tell people you can't, but just making sure that, okay, and now what makes sense for the life that I'm living? Will it take me 3 months? Will it take me 4 months? Do I need to give myself 6 months, so that you're not stressing out? Because once you stress out and you get into just not understanding your why anymore, because it's just become this like hamster wheel, you'll forget why you're doing any of it. So that would be my only thing I would add.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, go chime in.
Okay, so I just want to clarify because I know it was rattling. When we set an intention, when you set an intention, it boosts your vision, right? Once you get the vision, you set the intention, you check in with yourself, check in with your heart, and make sure it's aligned. Does it feel good? More than anything else, does it feel good? If it feels good, that's pretty much your GPS telling you, yes, this is the way you really want to go. Then once you create that vision, the intention is set. My intention, and you're absolutely right, there's always, always, always a by when. And it's keeping the integrity for yourself. So if you are out of integrity or something happens, recommit to yourself. Be compassionate. Rome wasn't built in a day. Recommit. I didn't do what I said I was going to do today. It's on the top of my list for tomorrow. And then you rock out from there. And what I do myself, that's been working for me for years, I journal every single day, twice a day. And in the morning, I journal 3 action steps that's going to align with the intention that I have set. I actually set my intention with 3 energetic ways of being, and I have accountability partners that I actually text every morning. This is my intention, because now 2 or more, it's in the presence of others. It's more likely to draw that energy back to myself as a result of that. And then in the afternoon, what lessons did I learn? Knowledge is just knowledge unless it's applied. Once you apply that knowledge, then you're getting someplace. Fail forward, make mistakes, learn from them, write down what you learned, what worked, what didn't work, and what 3 things you're going to do tomorrow, and sleep on it and review it in the morning.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, sleep on it and review it in the morning. Woo, 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 woo. Love it, love it. See some golden nuggets coming in. See, this is what I love about having the panelists giving us some golden nuggets. Now, I have to bring in our 4th wonderful queen. She's been waiting patiently here. And I want to make sure I introduced her right. We have Mrs. Barbara Ellison. And Barbara, just introduce yourself real quickly, lady, and let them know where you're coming from.
Hi, yeah, I'm Barbara Ellison. I'm founder of Wellness Playroom for the best version of you. I live near Chicago, and today was one of those days where I love technology when it works, and I love technology when it doesn't. So, yeah, it's fabulous to be here on the fabulous show. So I'm excited.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can I add one little thing to the conversation?
Yes, definitely.
Great conversation. One of the things that I have really realized for myself too is once in a while, and often, I have to think, okay, like who do I need to become in order to get those, and like to just really to stretch myself. What's one of the big things, like one of my big things that I have been wanting to do for years is to go on a missions trip to South America. Well, okay, so who do I have to become in order to do that? Well, gee, Barb, one of the things that you've been talking about doing is learning how to speak Spanish. Well, guess what? It's like, all right, I need to, okay, how am I going to go about learning Spanish? And it has just, once you set that, talk about setting the intention, then the inspired steps will come in. And as I was praying about it yesterday, it was like, oh, you know what? My friend Annelle is totally bilingual. So I'm going to have her help me. I got out my Pimsleur, I'll give them a plug, my Pimsleur Spanish thing. The course, it's all on CDs. Well, my CD player broke, so today I listened to it in my car. because I have a CD player in my car. So I listened to module 1, and then my friend Annelle gave me several points on how I can get used to listening to it. Get out a couple of movies that are in Spanish but have English subtitles, so you can get to hear the words of what they're saying and how they're saying it. And I went, oh, I can do that. So it's pushing me a little bit towards my goal of going on a mission trip to South America. So have that big, audacious, hairy thing that you want to do. And then the universe will hear you and then bring you the steps to bring it to you, for you to get there. So.
Yes, I love it. I love it, Barbara. Yes, have that big vision that you have. You know, you always have to continue to dream. You know, I'm going back to the heart now, because I said it early at the beginning. You want to make sure that you have that heart to dream big as you can dream. And, you know, eventually you'll get the steps, like you said, with the goals that we're talking about with goal settings. Never make yourself small in your dream. I want to put that out there to everybody, because a lot of times, like, well, that might be a little bit too, maybe I'll just do this particular goal, this particular vision. No, go big, like Barbara said. Go big. All can happen is, well, okay, you just didn't make it in this lifetime. You were trying to get there and you did it, or you might just make it because you went big. So yeah, thank you so much. I just had to thank you for saying that, Barbara. That really is very inspiring. So, you know, not talking about going big, I want to get into, because a lot of the shows that are on Let's Talk Fabulous, we're always talking about, it all boils down to legacy. Okay. And really everything we talk about, whatever topic that we're talking about on the show, we are building legacy, not just for people that go away. Because a lot of times when you hear legacy, people like, oh, okay, so I got to leave legacy before I go and gain my wings. I would say gain my wings. I feel like that sounds better. But you can live a living legacy. We live legacies every single day when we're living. Every time you talk to somebody or share something like we're sharing something now is legacy. You're putting those seeds out there. So I just want people to remember, with this wonderful, amazing remembrance of this song about living the legacies in today and after you leave here.
In the quiet moments, when the sun begins to rise, we find the strength within us. In the stories of our lives, not in gold or glory, but in hearts we've touched with grace, in the love we share with others, in each kind and gentle face. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. Through the trials and the triumphs, in the battles that we fight, it's the courage and the kindness that will always shine so bright. In the lessons that we teach and the dreams that we inspire, in the way we lift each other higher and higher. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. In the final song you sung, and the curtains drawing near, it's the moments filled with love that will echo year to year. In the footprints on the path that guide the lost and blind, your legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held, the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. So let's live with open hearts and give with all our might. For the legacy we leave is a beacon in the night, in the echoes of our actions, in the whispers of the wind. Our legacy of love is where it all begins. Our legacy of love is where it all begins.
Your legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind.
That was so comforting. So we are back. And if you're just chiming in, halfway in with the Let's Talk Fabulous show. My name is Barbara J. Beckley. I am hosting today with the wonderful panel here, talking about goals for success and your vision. The thing that I love about, because I think I seen somebody say in the comments that success is different for everybody. You know, my success sometimes is just making sure I get this in every day. Water. It could be a small success to say, okay, can I get at least 8 of these in my body? And if I say, and I did 8, I'm like, yay, success. That was a goal. My vision was getting 8 bottles in, and I did it. That's success. See? Real. See, now we can take formula, like I just said, and put it with everything else we're talking about, whatever goal that you have. But make sure it's success that you have for yourself, that you like, that you want. What success you're looking for, not what maybe other people are looking for. So I had to put that little disclaimer in there. So now we're going to have one of our other panelists. They're going to give us a little tip here, and then we're going to talk to them about what they talk about when it talks about goals and visions.
Share with you some easy tips. So we want to set goals to move your vision forward, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. You ready? All right. So number one is be clear about what you want to do. Know what you want. Know what you want to accomplish, and know what it is that you want to set forth, and understand what is attached to your vision. Okay. So you want to have clarity. Okay. So number 2, you want to take those thoughts and you want to align them with your vision. When you align with your vision, then you can set those attainable goals. Number 3, write those goals down. Okay. Once again, they should be attainable. You want to be able to reach and accomplish it easy without any type of issues along with it. Okay. Because we know life be lifing and it's easy to get sidetracked. So write them down. And also want to say, write them somewhere where it's easy for you to refer to. And if somebody like me, you might want to use your phone. Number 4, set a date to it. Stamp it with a date. And when you do that, that's telling yourself that you're serious. You're ready. You're not just thinking about it. You're not just talking about it. You have written it out. You just write about it, right? Now you're setting a timeline to it. Okay. So set that date, stamp it, make it real. And the next step and the next tip is to make sure that after you set that date and that time, look at the action steps that are needed to accomplish that goal. Sometimes it's 5 or 6, 7 steps. So you want to make sure that you have those steps outlined to attach to that goal.
Fabulous. I love it. And I love this queen. So I'm going to put you in the middle, lady, and talk a little bit more about those wonderful steps that you gave us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Those steps, I like practicality, things that be so practical. And, you know, in our everyday lives, things happen, and that's just the realness about it all. And a lot of times there are more people out here that are really still struggling with trying to attach a goal to a vision, or even trying to see what the vision is. So practicality is really big for me, and that's why those steps are so important. I get busy at times. I see things, I think things, I'm going so fast. I don't take the time to step back sometimes. But when I do, and especially when it's necessary and making practice out of it, those are the steps that help me. And I will share them to everybody at all times. But one thing I do want to mention about the vision, one thing when I work with my clients, I always talk to them about see your vision first. We are imaginative people. We are created to create. We're creative beings. So we're thinking all the time and we are seeing everything all the time, whether we pay attention to it, whether we don't, or whether we know it's the time to do it or whatever it is. I love telling people to think about what you're seeing first and then write it out because it helps it to make it plain. It's said, write the vision and make it plain. So in that way, you can see it without being in your head and you can see it on paper. It makes it a little bit more real. But like I said, when you add the timeline to it, when you added the action steps to it, then you're saying, you know what? I'm ready to take the next step with this goal, with this vision, and taking it and turning it into a goal. And then that's how you turn it into a tangible item, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, whether it's, a business, whether it's just doing the next big thing. It may be cleaning your house, whatever it is. You're able to attain it a lot better when you're able to see it. So that's why those points meant so much to me in sharing them, because we have to accomplish things. There are a lot of people that, I don't want to say it like this, but a lot of people pass away without accomplishing the things they wanted to do in life. We always say we have this bucket list. We have I like to call it the life to-do list. And, we have these things that we want to do, whether it's a personal goal, whether it's a business goal, whether it's education, whatever, family, whatever it is, put motion to it overall. Just put motion to it. If you haven't figured it all out, figure it out on the way, because life is short. Time is flying by. And it's just better to be able to say that you did something, even if it was two things out of that. You reached maybe two action steps out of that one goal. At least you're on the right track. So I just wanted to kind of really be practical on this because it happens. And a lot of people, they're still making their ways around it. We don't want there to be a possibility for that imposter syndrome to set in, or, people losing lack of confidence, or procrastination is everybody's enemy, and so it's like, we want them to be able to do it and know that they can have grace with it and ease on into it and accomplish what you're set forth to do.
I love the mic drops. Thank you, Queen. I love that. And anybody else want to chime in? I mean, that was powerful. Here, I'm going to put you in the middle. I see a head bobbing.
Now let me unmute. There we go. Okay. Today in technology is a thing. Boy. But anyway, yeah, no, I love everything that Sacha just shared. Is definitely practical, and I do think people make it more complicated than it needs to be. So I love the practicality and as you said before, giving yourself grace. Maybe you only did two of those things, and clap for those two things and then move on to the next. So I absolutely love what you shared.
Definitely. I just want to, if anybody else want to add real quick before another panelist comes in, I always say, no matter what, stay in the race. I don't care if you're crawling, you're walking, you're running, you're skipping, you're jumping, whatever it is, long as you stay in that race. So don't get upset if something you didn't get done. I mean, for weeks and weeks, there's a few things I've been pushing and pushing and pushing, but it's not going to stop me from what I'm trying to go to that vision. So stay in that race. I seen Karen's hand up.
Yes, thank you. To your point, Sacha, that was brilliant. One of the things that, just to come around back to what Barbara had said also, it's a becoming, it's a journey, it's a growth opportunity. So when you're looking at that and you're growing, make sure you celebrate the small, big, whatever it is, celebrate, because you're actually on a neurological level, you're telling your brain that you're moving closer towards that which you want. So that's where I love the journaling, because when I write it every day, I write it in the text that it's already happened. So by for me, I work on 6-week cycles. So for me, on August 19th, I have created XYZ, and the way I say it and who I've become as a result of it is XYZ. And this way, you're constantly telling your brain and feeding your brain that has already happened. It's already accomplished, and I've become that.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love, okay, Barbara, the second, but I'm not my Barbara, this Barbara.
One of the things that I have really embraced lately, and I'm sharing with people and my clients, is that, whether you're a person of faith or in whatever you call that higher power that is out there, in my case, it's God and Jesus. But one of the things that I have really embraced is that God is speaking to us from our future. He is the one that is giving us those nudges and those little inspired actions and those inklings of like, oh, maybe I should do that. And he's talking to our right brain. But you have to remember that our left brain is the one that wants to keep us safe. So if we can concentrate on those little things and say, okay, God is speaking to me from my future. And this little nudge, no matter if it sounds impossible, if it's like, ooh, why would I do that? Well, because it's a nudge. And that is a nudge coming from your future to get you to your future. Whether it makes sense in the now, right now, doesn't matter. And when we act, and as I've embraced this, I have absolutely realized how much more and more and more and more and more it is true that, that one little thing led me here. And I think it's Steve Jobs that says, you know what, you can only connect the dots when you look back. So right now we're still going forward. So I have just, now that I've embraced that God's speaking to me from my future, he already knows what my future is. So why not take his direction? So, and it has just absolutely been amazing to be to embrace it and go, wow, okay, thank you, Lord.
She got the golden star.
Can I add to that?
Yes, you can.
When Barbara was talking, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm over here like speaking my language. Have anybody ever seen the movie The One with Jet Li? It's an older movie, about maybe 10, 15, 20 years old. But anyway, if you haven't, let me recap real quick. So when in The One, there was different dimensions and there was different Jet Lis in each dimension. The other ones was like trying to kill off the other ones because they didn't want them around. So it was only one left. I love using that movie. And when I'm talking to anybody else about vision, about future, about goals, about all these things that, Barbara just so touched on, I love to say that every step we take forward, every decision we make to go forward, we're reaching that next self. We're reaching that next version of ourselves that's waiting on us to pass the baton. Because like I said, we see this in our imagination. We see it. If we're supposed to be this big time business owner, whatever like that, and we're still, at 3 figures, like you see it. So you have to set the goal, set the plans, the goals and everything to attain that. And it's for you. That's like you said, the future self talking to you. So when we think about every step forward, every decision, every goal we write, every step we accomplish, we're going into that next version of ourselves. This is waiting to take us farther. I say that because after COVID, I relaunched my business. And before I did, I was just this place where I was just like, I don't know if I want to touch it again. COVID really did a thing on me. It did a thing on the business. I don't know. I felt that nudge. I felt that urgency to say, Sacha, you need to get out here, get it yourself together, get out here, do it again. It was not a conversation with anyone. I just felt that so strong. And when I did, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. The words that came to me was more so like, is your purpose greater than your fear greater than your purpose? That's why I mentioned about the procrastination, the fears and stuff like that, because a lot of times, like you said, that left side of the brain wants to hold us, right? That's procrastination sets in and everything. But then when you step forward, you take that next step into that Sacha or that Barbara or Karen is waiting for you to go into the next level. I say, okay, I'll do it because I do. I know that I am. I did. That's the thing that got me here right now to be able to talk to you guys. So everything that everybody's saying up here, chef's kiss. It's just we have to look at it that standpoint. When you're that one, take it to the next level. Make the decision, go for it. You see it, go for it. If you're scared, go for it. I had to keep pinching myself because procrastination would have set in. Go for it. And then look at all the things that will come forward from that. And your vision is accomplished. And then it takes you to the next one.
Oh, I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself, Queen. OMG. You're awesome, dropping some golden. Okay, let me look in the comments real quick. I had to do this. Who's out there talking now? I got Miss Joy, Miss Wonderful Queen Joy, Chef Kisses. Kisses. I love that. Yes, people are coming in, commenting, our highest version. I always tell people COVID was a stepping stone for strength for everybody. And if you didn't use that to move the needle in your life, see, Sacha, you just hit on something. See, I feel like I'm about to preach, but I can't because I got to let you all talk. But real quickly, it was a stepping stone for us to say, okay, this is the time to really see what you have in you to move to the next level, wherever you're trying to go in your life. Or you're going to either say, I'm going to sit there and give up and say, forget it, or say, no, this is a good opportunity for creativity. This is a good opportunity for me to move in my vision. This is a good time for me to stop and think and really respond to this and get that mindset together. So yeah, you just got me going. Let me calm down. I got to get to Barbara's video. So with that, let's go straight to Barbara's video. I am so sorry, but I got excited. Here we go.
Hi there. I'm Barbara Ellison. And my question is, are you setting a goal that is just for you to set a goal? Something that's going to happen in your own life? Or are you setting a goal that's going to impact the world? And that is what is going to make a difference in how you see your life. When you're only setting goals for yourself, they can be money or promotions or whatever those things. Those are called means goals. However, the ones that really light your world, they are the end goals. Why do you want the money? Or why do you want the promotion? How are you going to feel when you get it? And is it going to light up yourself, your world? Is it going to make a difference in the world? That's what the difference is.
Okay, Barbara.
Yeah, and that's exactly true, because so often, like we've already talked about it. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why? The thing is, I realized I wasn't until I was in my 60s that I realized that why I was doing things was based on somebody else's lens, not my own. And so that's one of the biggest things of why do I want this? Is it really my why? Or am I trying to live up to somebody else's why? And that is so hard to do sometimes. And sometimes it takes courage to let go of something that's not serving you, especially if it's a family kind of thing, that courage to let that go. And yet the wisdom is knowing that you have to and how to. And that is really hard sometimes. Because, what are people going to think if I'm distancing myself from that when that's been my family legacy for years? Well, yeah, but it wasn't mine. And now that when we embrace who we want to be, our authentic, absolutely from the depths of our soul of who we want to be and what we want to do to make our hearts sing, then it'll change everything. It changes everything in our lives. Yeah.
Hot. Flaming fabulous. Oh my God, what makes your heart sing? Me and Barbara, she gave me that months and months ago. And I just been singing that forever. I was like, Barbara, where did you get that from? What makes your heart sing? Everybody should be in the comment. You need to ask yourself that question. And that's going to be for everything, for vision, goal, whatever you're talking about. What makes your heart sing? Barbara, thank you so much for bringing that up again.
And it's really hard because so often, like one of my super success stories that I always talk about. And one day, and his name was Alex, and he was in financial services. And I said, "So why are you in financial services?" He says, "Well, my family was." And I said, "So I finally said to him, I said, well, what would you want to be doing if you weren't in family services?" And he went, and then he said the magic words. As a kid, I always thought I would want to work with dolphins. And I said, okay. I said, so we've already talked about those little steps. What is one step that you can do in the next 2 weeks that'll take you towards that? And he finally thought of something. He said, well, I guess I could check out my local university and see if they have anything that is on marine biology. Oh, brother, he came back 2 weeks later. He was a changed man. It was like I had given him permission to dream again. 2 weeks after that, I said, what does your wife think of all these changes that you're making? And he started to laugh. And I said, why are you laughing? He said, oh, Barb, you've saved my marriage. It was like, oh, that's the power of having your own dream, not somebody else's dream. Have your own dream. What do you want to do? What makes your heart sing?
Ooh, okay, I don't know if I have any more emojis or whatever going on. I'm just gonna say thank you. This is powerful. Okay, so with that, and I'm looking at time here because I want to make sure each queen gets a little bit of what they need to say about tips. So I want to go to Queen Ari because I know she has something powerful to say, and I'm gonna put her in the middle, and we're gonna hear some wisdom here.
So life this week, and Miss Barbara's gonna forgive me because I did not get to send my video. So y'all write these down, and I may or may not have time to put them in the chat. But y'all get your pencils. So I'm perfect timing for me to come right behind Miss Barbara because many of the times the reasons why we pick the goals that we pick, the things that we think are our purpose, and we do all of the things is because we have absolutely zero idea who we are. We have like no idea who we are. We have picked up what other people's perceptions are of who we should be, and that's typically what we're walking out. And so one of the things that's huge when you're setting goals and we're talking about why and intentions and time frames and we're talking about all of that, but go back before all of that. Who are you at the end of the day? Like, who are you actually? Now, who does your family think you are? Who does church think you are? Who does business think you are? Your employees, your kids, but who are you actually? And in order for you to answer that question, you have to go back to who created you in the beginning, because we were all created to solve a problem and serve a need. There is something, to Barbara's point, that makes your heart sing that solves a problem out here for somebody else. So if you find the what you were created in your purpose, and then you also realize you are worthy to walk that out, like you are actually worthy, and you didn't get worthy because you did all these great, amazing things. You were born worthy. You were born worthy. You were created worthy. There's a scripture that talks about before the foundations of the world, you've been accepted. So that was before you did the performance, the thing, the grades, all the stuff. You were already loved and accepted, and you were created that way. And so because you're created that way, to everyone's point, like what you are supposed to be doing out here is already there. All you're doing is coming into more of an awareness of who you actually are and getting the strength, the courage, and the know-how to walk that out. So then next thing is when you're coming up with when you say, okay, here's my purpose. Does it solve a problem? Does it serve a need? Because if it doesn't, go back to the drawing board, because that's going to be outside of what you were authentically created to do. Because it's going to be the thing that you would do even if nobody paid you, because it just makes your heart sing. So Barbara, I'm stuck on that. I'm going to love that forever after this. The last thing is who can you connect with that gets you to that purpose? We try to be out here lone wolf and stuff all the time. Why? My pastor always says proof that you know that you were supposed to be connected to people is the fact that you have an umbilical cord. You have connection is what it is, where it is. So you're not going to get to solving the problem and serving the need with your 4 plus no more and you by yourself. That's not how that works. We're created to be connected. And if we all learn that, it would solve every problem we ever had out here, because everybody would know who they are. Everybody would understand what their purpose is. Everybody would know what, problem they're solving and what need they're serving. And nobody would be in competition with each other. There would be no performance, and you would just walk out what you were called to do. And would the world not look like a completely different place if we all were able to do that and we were free to do that and nobody talked us out of that from when we were a kid? Because that's the other piece. We've allowed people to talk us out of it. So who can you connect with? Who's by you already? Who do you know already that's in your circle? Because we look over the people in our circles and sometimes our families, and they have the answers, the thing that you need. So if you look around, your circle should have all the pieces and parts that you need. And if they don't, you probably need a new circle. That means you're not connected with the right people, because you guys should all be moving towards purpose. There should be a reason. There's more to life than just girls' trips and kicking it and making money. Way more to life than that. So what does that look like? What does that look like? Who are you connected with?
Okay, I had some more. Wow. Okay, you know what? You're all just, I just want to give you virtual hugs. Everybody in the comments, I want to give you virtual hugs. I don't want to forget the people in the comments because they're making some wonderful comments here. They're really connected with this. Please go back. If you just getting into this, look at the replay. You need to look at the replay on this. Okay, now we have a game. This is my wonderful game. I'm going to start calling it Barbara's 30-second game. So with that, some of these panelists has been on here. They know the 30 seconds game. With 30 seconds, you have 30 seconds to give us any last golden nuggets. If you go over 30 seconds, you know what happens. I'm going to take you out the middle. Love me, though, okay? Love me, okay? I'm putting that out there first. So I'm going to start with top to bottom, 30 seconds, and one other, any kind of mic drops you have, and then we're going to go from there. So I'll start with Miss Sacha.
Okay. I would say self-reflect, self-examine, look at that vision, write those goals, and don't be afraid. Don't procrastinate. Be you in the midst of it. Give yourself grace and be free to do it.
Come on with that. Next.
So authenticity to your own self be true. That's not only biblical, but Shakespeare stated it in the play Hamlet. When you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. Always check in and make sure it's from the heart, because that is your true authentic self.
Unmute. Every day, look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself that you love you, that I love you. I love you, Barbara. I love you. I am proud of you. I commit to you and I forgive you. And then celebrate the things that you are and let go of the things you're not.
I would say look at the beginning, look at who you are, what problem or need were you created for specifically, and then look around you and see what resources and who you can connect with that's close by you. And remember that you were created worthy to walk in all of the things that are inside of you.
You did it. You did it. 30 seconds. Nobody get taken out. So with that said, everybody, again, thank you, panelists. I love you all. Thank you. I'm going to put panelists for the comments. To me, they're panelists too that's out there talking to us, right? Thank you, Queen Tamara, for always welcoming me in to be a host. I always have to give her so much love. And just remember, a vision is never too big. Never too big. Just make sure you're taking those goals to make sure it gets to that vision that you're trying to get to. And with that said, we will see you next Sunday.